What's going on, everybody? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest in the behind-the-bar reviews for chapter 932 of One Piece. One Piece, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this chapter was unique in one respect, that it's been a long time since or it feels like it's been a long time since we simply followed from page 1 to the end of the chapter just one scene, one coherent scene. We did not jump to the prison, the page 1 fight, Law Frankie Usopp, Zoro, Ibisu Town, nothing. Kinemon, we didn't jump. Kaido, Big Mom Chopper, we did not jump to anybody else. We stayed consistently within Shogun Orochi's palace. We did jump the focus a little bit from Robin into a couple of different panels of other characters, but for the most part, this is one coherent scene, and that means that a lot of people were a little disappointed by this chapter. They just were like, meh, it's a little lackluster. But the thing is that Wano has had this ability to make each chapter have a significant hype moment, not just for the arc, but for the overall story, and things that people have been waiting on for a very long time. Now, that being said, we need these setup chapters. We need these type of chapters. This has dialogue heavy, it's a build-up. You can't constantly have hype moments, because then you're going to be oversaturated. So I've said this before multiple times. We don't want oversaturation in Wano. Wano is going to be a long arc, and we need to draw out all the hype. So chapters like this, while sometimes people would say almost boring, are still necessary. The dialogue-heavy chapters are necessary. So the beginning of the chapter, we see that, of course, Robin and is still being captured and all that jazz, and we see, well, actually at the very beginning we see Komurasaki, which once again, like, I know that it's just a mask and clearly nobody didn't see her put the mask on or something like that, but they state that this is one of her very beautiful songs and the like, and she always wears the kitsune that appears to be like the kitsune mask, Fox Demon mask, seems to wear this. Now, I'll get to a theory later about this, but I believe it references a character we already know. So I know a lot of people have been under the guise that Komurasaki is likely Momonosuke's sister. Or some people have said maybe Lady Toki herself. But I've got a third option that I'm not sure if anybody has mentioned yet. I haven't followed every theory video on YouTube about this, but I think this gives us a key piece of information now that we know that that's clearly her with the kitsune mask. But anyways, we'll get to that at the end of the chapter. Now, this is something where I follow a few reviewers, and Teching 101, who is one of my favorite YouTubers, seemed to call most of what happens in the next few pages. The ninja squad there is basically like the Oniwaban group based off of the Rurouni Kenshin manga, and then further based back before that. This little thing is the whole, oh, well, we'll give you a chance, we'll give you a chance, we'll give you the options where we'll give you a chance to die quickly or die painfully. The choice is up to you. Now, Robin thinks fast on her feet and basically claims that she is the Ox 3 boy. Or I believe there's a couple other translations of what that is, but that's the person that in Ibisu Town who's there with Zoro and such, the entertainer, that are all smiling. They say that this person is basically the Robin Hood type figure of Ibisu Town. Now, she claims to be this, and then boom, disappears after getting hit or whatever. So she created a clone with her devil fruit. We knew this was a possibility, and she created the clone with her devil fruit and such. And this is how some other people also said that she would get away. Now, she also runs back to the party, and after informing Brook and Shinobu and Nami that are all there, kind of being her bodyguard, sort of, like incognito, ninja style, she informs them about the 11 ninjas that are there and all that stuff, and she walks towards Shogun Orochi to kind of be like, hey, I've been here the whole time, a leaf hiding in the forest, as she puts it. Now, she asks some questions about Onigashima Island and such, but we don't really get a whole lot of information about that. The key thing here is that even though there's a lot of dialogue-heavy stuff, it's simply, you have Kyoshiro, I believe his name is, the Yakuza boss, the Yakuza head there, is describing what it's like to be a Yakuza, what it's like to be strong, what it's like to, how you should treat women and how you should treat family. The moment we drink sake together, you become a member of my family. What would you do if your child or children showed up beaten and bloody? You'd get cross as a parent. That's what you do. So he compares the fact that some of his men were beaten up by the soba seller, and that's why he went all out. It wasn't about necessarily doing overkill. It's different. It's not about overkilling these people. It's about the feeling of being a Yakuza boss, and everyone under you is a family member to you. So someone crosses you in that way, you get infuriated, similar to a parent. And I'm like, okay, I've seen enough mob movies to understand this mentality. It's not just an insult, but even beyond that. Now, I haven't seen a whole lot of Yakuza-specific mob films, but I've seen one or two, played a couple video games, and I've seen my fair share of the Italian and the American versions of these mobs, cartel and the like, down in Mexico. So I do understand this concept, and it does fit. It fits very well. They talk about the soba seller and talk about this. Now, Orochi kind of ignores Robin's questions about Onigashima and goes into a whole drunken spill about, yes, crush the enemy with overwhelming strength. It was 20 years ago. Even ghosts we must crush. And he goes into the long-winded thing, and all the people there are making fun of him, similar to how Kiyoshiro did. He was making fun of him when we were first introduced to the Yakuza boss. He was sitting there like, he's just so afraid of ghosts. 20 years ago, he's quivering in his boots like a little child. He's so scared of these people that we wiped out and stuff. And Shogun Orochi is there like, I saw Odin die. I was there. I was the victor. But I remember Kinemon and the 9 red sheets. I remember their overwhelming strength and their power and their might. And these 9 samurai that were so great. And they come from my head. All the things happening now. Now, he's not technically wrong in a sense. There's one key thing. Everyone here is making fun of him because it's been 20 years. And everyone's sitting there like, he's afraid of nothing. Like you won, dude. What are you so quivering about? You make yourself seem so strong, but you're acting like a scared child sort of idea. And everyone's whispering amongst themselves like, oh, here he goes again about this. And everyone's just like, whatever. And the thing is that he brings up Kinemon and his strength and all this such. Foxfire Kinemon. And the thing is about this is that they might be making fun of him. And even with the ninjas looking for Robin and Komurasaki seeming to react to all this in a very odd manner. But the big thing to take away from this, in my opinion, is the fact that he is one of the villains that is not underestimating prophecies. It's been a long time in manga where a villain, a straight-up villain, not an anti-hero, not some third-party group. It's been a long time since an actual villain of an arc has actually sat back and went, don't care if it's been 20 years. Don't care if I watched them burn. Don't care if we haven't heard boo from them for 20 years. She said it. I will crush these ghosts, but I'm not taking risks. I'm not taking chances here. They said they'd be back. Momonosuke's body was never found. For all I know, he has infiltrated Shogun Castle. Keep a damn eye out. And he's been apparently spilling like this, getting drunk and repeating himself for the last 20 years, it sounds like. Or at least the way Kiyoshiro said before is that the closer it gets to the 20-year mark, the more and more he seems to get worried and scared about this. Now, within the story, of course, they make fun of him. But we as readers need to respect this man for taking 2 decades and still not wavering in the fact that keep your eyes peeled for these guys. Because if we, he might be saying it in a drunken way and he's boasting oh, we'll crush them no matter what and stuff. So he might be overconfident about it, but he's not a total invalid. He's not saying oh, there's no possible way Momonosuke's alive. He must have just been burned. There's no possible way Kinemon and all the other ones that we never found have just forgotten about us or just died off at sea or something. No, he's not taking that chance. So we need to give some respect to the Shogun of Wano. Shogun Wario over here. We need to give him some respect because this is something that a lot of villains, they are overconfident, similar, and they don't take anything seriously enough. He is boasting and overconfident, but at least he's still taking what Toki said seriously. And he's still taking the facts, as he listed about Kinemon, the Red Sheath, and Momonosuke, as still facts. Like, I didn't see a body, so, like, I might have won for 20 years, but that won't mean I'll reign for 21 if I slack off. So, I like that concept. I really like the fact that Orochi is not, doing that stuff. Now, here's where things start to go south. The little girl that we met before, Otoko, the one that Sanji fed and whatever, and she was the Kamoro of the courtesan. She starts laughing, and she can't stop laughing. We remember she was a really happy child, but she's been listening to all the people whisper, in the corner and stuff, and she just can't keep it in, and she just keeps laughing. She knows she's in deep shit, but she just can't stop laughing because everybody's making fun of the Shogun. Now, of course, Orochi's all like, yeah, no. And he gets all tech now. You see Robin, like, getting ready, with her devil fruit and all that such. But we also see a very strange reaction from the courtesan herself. Now, she stands up to the Shogun and says, listen, she is not but a child. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, forgive her. It's like, oh, you make fun of me? He's like, stand down, everyone. I will, slice and dice this child that dares laugh at me. That's when our lovely courtesan walks up to him and bitch slaps the Shogun right across the face. And he takes a blow. Like, this woman got some strength. Now, I'm going to explain why I think this woman has some reserve strength here and such. Now, you can give it that Orochi's drunk and not that strong in his human form, but we do finally get a shot after this, after they're like, you slapped the Shogun, what the hell? And that's when, of course, Orochi says, oh, I was going to make you my wife, Kurosaki, but not any longer, sort of idea is the implication, and transforms into the Yamato no Orochi, Devil Fruit. Now, we can assume from this, by the looks of the heads, once again, there's been many tellings where it's either been a snake or a dragon, but that is simply because of the kanji and the way that snake and dragon are translated in Japanese. So the Yamato no Orochi has been depicted as both snake and dragon, but it is most historically known as a dragon, a nine-headed dragon. So in this sense, Oda took it literally. He didn't take it the same route that other series have taken it before, similar to like Naruto with Orochimaru and such, being snake-based. No, he went for true factual and went dragon-based. So the nine-headed dragon, it's not a puppeteer and stuff. It's not a red herring like we thought. No, he actually has probably the dragon mythical model Yamato no Orochi. So really cool, really cool. Now, they might reference it as something else because it's kind of, unless, once again, I don't believe the Shogun Orochi's real name is Orochi. It's likely he was a middle-class noble, a greedy scumbag, maybe even a commoner at some point, and he rose up because of Kaido, found the devil fruit and all that stuff, and changed his name to make himself believe his own lie, because Yamato no Orochi, he has the Yamato no Orochi devil fruit power. It's just too coincidental, Like, that'd be like dragon having a European dragon fruit. I mean, probably. I mean, a lot of people have theorized he may, but nonetheless. So, here we see that, of course, he transforms into the dragon and stuff, but Robin grabs Otoko and runs away. The ninjas spot her. Kyoshiro's ready. He's like, oh, what a bloodbath. And he's ready to fight. So we might see him in some action. Now, I don't believe he's weak. I think he's one of the Yakuza boss is one of the retainers that actually is going to be a challenge for one of our characters. Likely not Luffy or Zoro, but most likely somebody else. Maybe there'll be a big clash with Brook, or there might be a clash with Frankie or somebody like that. Like, this is going to be a really cool, or could fight Kinemon himself or something like that. It'd be very interesting to see a sword fight with this guy if he lives up to what I'm believing about him. Now, the thing I wanted to talk about at the beginning of the review. Now, here's where I believe that this person, the courtesan Komurosaki, is Kinemon's daughter. She looks to be a young woman. It would make sense. You know, we've seen Kinemon's wife and the like. It's very possible that Kinemon did not realize that his wife was pregnant, and you know, or maybe he did know and just assumed, you know, she's lost or something, or doesn't bring it up. There could be many, many reasons as to why Kinemon would not know about this. And Foxfire Kinemon now wears a kitsune mask, and a kitsune is, of course, a fox demon in Japanese mythology, and Foxfire being, you know, just go no further than an anime such as Inuyasha, where the fox demons use Foxfire as a fire-based spell or illusionary magic, the flames of illusion, similar things. And that's just one example of many, many, many. So, and it's only when he brings up Kinemon we see reaction shots from Komurosaki. And at the end panel here, we see her say, like, I will not bow my knee to anyone. I am a daughter of a warrior. Now, a lot of people could take that as Odin, and that's still a viable theory, that this is Momonosuke's sister, you know. But the fox mask and the song and the whole, it's Foxfire Kinemon, it just seems to be a little hint, a little bit of a hint from Oda, a specific mask. Why do you wear this mask? This song could have been something that her mother said that her father liked or something. It could be a reference of something we aren't even aware of yet. That's why she always wears the mask, which is said at the beginning of the chapter. She always wears this mask when playing these songs. Now, why? And why specifically a kitsune? And bringing up Foxfire Kinemon at the same point? See, I'm just sitting there going, that's what I'm going to believe. My top theory about who she is, if she's connected to anybody, is she is Kinemon's daughter. And that's why she brings up, I am, you know, the great daughter of a warrior, blah, blah, blah. And even Orochi said it himself, Foxfire Kinemon is a great warrior, you know, who could organize all these attacks and stuff. So, you know, praise from an enemy means even more than praise from a friend sort of idea. So I'm under the clear impression that that is going to be my theory for now. There wasn't really a whole lot more to unravel or talk about in this chapter, but once again, this is a setup chapter. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the review. What did you guys think of the chapter? What did you think of my review? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think of my theory about Komurosaki being... Am I reading too much into a simple fox demon mask? Or is there something more? Is this a nice little hint, a nice little tasty treat by Oda to see who can figure it out first? That being said, everyone, this has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews. Like, comment, subscribe as always. We'll see you back here next time for One Piece, chapter 933. I'm excited to see what goes down in the capital. I believe we'll likely cut away back to the Sanji page 1 fight, or at least Ibisu Town with Zoro and Frankie and everybody meeting up. That'd be interesting. But that being said, everyone, this has been Griever. Drink responsibly as always, as I currently am, of course, and we'll see you back here next time.